The Red Gloves. It was a full moon and foggy night on a Valentine's Day, where sweet love notes were written on cards, a bouquet of roses freshly pulled from someone's garden, and a box of chocolates that's filled with surprises. Although this was a special day and night for red to be worn, but this was also the anniversary day that a serial killer was born, the drag queen. Typically, she only dressed in drag for entertainment purposes, but after being rejected from love, she decided to take her resentment to the next level above, by killing her victims while wearing red gloves. Anyone was fair game. If love and affection was shown right in front of her devil blue eyes, then that was the day for the lover's demise. The drag queen just finished her last show and walked out to have a smoke break. Turning her head slowly to the right, she sees her prey of the night. The Robinsons were new in town and decided to hit the streets to celebrate their first Valentine, as a married couple, but kissing and hugging just invited them trouble. As they walked by, she asked, "You have a light?" Trevor reached into his pocket and lit her cigar while looking her dead in her eyes. She thanked them with a wink as they said their goodbyes. Each nightclub they left, they could smell the lingering smoke from the cigar, not realizing that danger was not afar. Trevor told his wife that the lingering smoke smelled familiar. She reminded him of the cigar lady leaned up against the pillar. She asked if he thought they were being followed. Before he could answer, she thinks she heard him swallow. Trevor replied with, "Baby, I think you had enough to drink, let's head home, besides I forgot to take the meat out of the kitchen sink." They entered the streetcar and so did the lady with the gar. The Robinsons looked at each other with fear as they heard a bystander yell out, "Queer." Any other time the drag queen would have read the bystander their rights, but since love was in the air, she had to dim this couple's light. The conductor stopped and let him out right in front of the cemetery, and this is where it gets scary. Tombstones everywhere and no one to help them while in despair. Queen started taunting the couple with the saying, "You can run but you can't hide." Trevor left his gun inside the safe of his home, where tonight it didn't belong. Whose idea it was to split up? As the narrator of this story, I'm wishing this couple good luck. Queen knew the cemetery like the back of her hand. She's a part of the jazz funeral that's accompanied by a band. Tanya thinking to herself that Queen is still a man and she needs to outthink him and come up with a plan. After taking so many left and right turns, Tanya found Trevor hiding in Mary Baptiste's tomb, where it read, "She passed away while protecting the baby in her womb." Little did the Robinsons know that Mary was killed by the hands inside the red gloves, all because the Queen was not whole and fulfilled with love. Queen could hear them whispering as she creeped by. She yelled out, come out, it's your time to die." Before the Robinsons, they were the Andersons. The Andersons had it all until one night, when there was a fight from a misunderstanding. Emptying their bank accounts and hopping on a plane to prepare for landing, they entered New Orleans and went to Tanya's auntie house to hide out and eat some of her famous red beans. Auntie always knew that Tanya was crazy, ever since she was a little baby. That misunderstanding night wasn't Tanya's first kill. If you don't believe me, the show Crime Daily did a special on What Happened to Bill. Tonight was supposed to be all about love, and the Queen chose the wrong prey, that's known for holding a grudge. Queen kicked in the door and saw that the Robinsons was ready for war. This was easier than taking candy from a store. Trevor standing over Queen's lifeless body, telling Tanya, "Now we have an even score." Before the sun could rise, these two lovebirds were back blazing into each other's eyes. They are not running again because they were already in disguise, dressed in all black like undercover spies. Auntie knew that the wolves were on a prowl. It is a full moon and she heard them howl. As they walked through the door, she handed him a towel. She did not ask when, where, why or how. There's no need to overcome horror when you are the nightmare, going from day to day in this world without a care. Tonight, the Robinsons, the Andersons, conceived their first child out from this affair. The next day the cemetery was covered by the news. The Queen's family was shocked and confused. They don't understand who would want to kill Queen, stating that she was a wonderful human being. As the story started to unfold, the truth had to be told. Now the families of the victims can move on and heal. Queen was a murderer and she died unfulfilled. The detectives are pressed for time on for solving this case. Who knows before the unknown suspects do it again, without leaving a trace. One clue that the investigating team purposely left out, the Queen's red gloves were stuffed in her mouth. It's a shame what people would do for clout, confessing to a murder that they know nothing about. 9 months later, and the case still unsolved, a baby girl named Queen was born to the killers that were involved. People fall in love for many reasons. Let's just hope that it's not a killing season. The Robinsons never killed again, because Queen was made from love and it took out the hatred within.